He hasn't went over it with me.
Pardon?
He hasn't went over that with me. Any of my requests is,
Court does call the case People versus Luke Edwards.
Lauren Brown, Deputy Chief Public Defender, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Edwards. She's being willed to the podium. Mr. Edwards, please state your name for the record.
Luke Edwards.
Thank you. Your Honor, today is the date and time set for the probable cause conference. However, I have spoken with Mr. Edwards, and there appears to be a breakdown in communication between Mr. Edwards and our office. He does not believe that we are fighting in his best interest, and we are asking that our office be withdrawn because I do not believe that this breakdown is something that's going to be. So we're asking to have our office withdrawn and new counsel appointed.
Mr. Edwards, what's the problem?
Beg your pardon?
What's the problem?
I believe the attorney can answer it better than I can legally.
Can what?
He can answer that better than I can.
Are you asking to have counsel removed?
Yes,
Why?
it's been a breakdown in our communication.
What's that mean?
We disagree with things we can't see eye to eye. I have yet to go over with him the discovery, everything that this case is about.
I don't know what that means. You haven't had a chance to go over it with him?
He hasn't went over it with me.
Pardon?
He hasn't went over that with me. Any of my requests is, a matter of fact, he had told me that I could get my, I guess, transcript or the paperwork. I don't know the legal terms to put it in today.
That you could get your discovery today? Is that?
Yes.
You're not going to go through trying to pick attorneys, Mr. Edwards. I think we went through this before. We're going to have to see a motion. I don't understand what this is about. We went through this the last time. I told him to listen to you. You didn't want to listen to him?
I did listen to it.
And so what's the problem?
That's why I said that he can explain it better, because like you said, there's a breakdown. You can't understand it from me, and so maybe he can tell you in the terms that you'll understand.
Mr. Brown, without
Revealing,
right, yes. What's the problem?
Your Honor, I've had several visits with my client. And the upshot is he has made it clear that he does not believe that our office is working in his best interest. He does not believe that we are trying to help him in this case.
Right. My question is, in your opinion, is there a valid reason for his insistence in not wanting your office? I don't need to know the specifics. I'm just asking your opinion because it just sounds to me like he just wants to complain.
Well, of course, Your Honor, from my point of view, there's not a valid basis for what he's saying, but there is the fact that it is a breakdown in communication. He simply will not take my guidance or my advice, and whether or not it's based on anything that's substantive or real, the fact is, if he's not taking my guidance, not listening to me, and not hearing what I'm having to say, then that constitutes a breakdown in communication that I can't overcome.
So he's making it impossible for you to work. Well, you don't have to say that. That's my conclusion.
I got very much.
All right. Well, we'll have to try to find an attorney then. So take him back and then we'll bring him back out at some point and figure that out. I need the formal motion before me, so it's got to get here.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. We can do that.
Or to pass that one. Court calls the case, the People versus Cooper Hahn.
Your Honor, Mike Simpson on behalf of Cooper Hahn.
Your name?
Cooper Hahn, sir.
What are we doing?
We're asking for a prelim exam
discovery all complete?
Yes, as far as I know, it is.
People have, would the people have their witnesses available on the 18th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Oh, boy.
I've been told it's not a good date.
Good morning, Your Honor. He does have 2 exams on that date already. Would it be possible to have it on 20?
Well, he can do 3. He'll be here anyway.
I'm old.
I know. We'll let you take a nap midway. But he's here on the 18th. And that's the date we're gonna set it.
Can we have it on the 25th or no?
What did I just say? He's got 2 on the 18th?
Yes.
Why am I going through this with you?
Don't know.
I'm not.
Don't know why at all.
I just stopped. Preliminary examination will be set in person, June 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Fresh Hour.
May I just bond at the appropriate time?
That would, I guess, be now. Go ahead.
Right now, Mr. Hahn, Cooper Hahn is,
Excuse me? Really? Yeah. Ow. Go back out. Bye. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Vincent.
is
No, I'm good. Go.
is
Anybody
tender-
else got any names they want to yell out? No? Good. Go ahead, Mr. Vincent. You can't make it. Go ahead.
can't. Mr. Hahn is tethered to his house right now. I have his dad and his mom here. On information and belief, the lady involved in this has moved out of the house on Pinewood that the 2 of them live together. She's now living with her Aunt Molly in Howell. And I can give the address. What I'm asking for is if he can have a location tether to stay away from Aunt Molly's house on Main Street in Whitmore Lake. I give the address.
That's her word.
So
Well,
where she,
he wants to return to the Pinewood Street address. Is that the deal?
well, not only that, more, yes, he'd like to go back home. He also would like to be able to work with his dad. His dad's got a very hands-on type of business. He collects coins from all these video machines all over southeastern Michigan, pretty much, and relies on his son to help him with that. I'm asking for a tethered no-go to where she works at a bowling alley on Main Street in Whitmore Lake, and Aunt Molly lives on Parsons Road in Howell. He's not.
What?
No,
Why would that be a change? Are you,
right now, he's tethered to his home.
got it. You're just asking
Can't leave his
the
father.
lack of home confinement, but with
Yes.
Ms. Burrows.
This is 3 counts of at this point. I am extremely concerned for the safety of the victim as well as the safety of the community if this defendant were to be outside of home confinement. That's the reason that we requested $250,000 in this case. The fact that he's already out on home confinement makes us a bit uneasy. He has a conviction for unarmed robbery as well as conspiracy to commit unarmed robbery, as well as a possession by a felon from 2019. We have 3 counts of AWIM, and this is a DV case. I am extremely concerned.
I'm extremely concerned that a fender bender has turned into an attempted murder. This is literally a fender bender. And I don't want to argue the case, which we will do on the 18th of June. But this is nothing more than a fender.
I'm going to let the testimony be heard and then let Judge Freshour make that decision. I'm not going to make that change at this point in time. That this bond condition has been existing since the time of his arraignment. So I'm going to deny your request at this time to modify his bond. And after the testimony is taken in the case, then that judge can make a adequate determination as to what conditions of release might be.
Would it be okay if his parents went over and picked up their 1-year-old, they have a 1-year-old child together? He would like to see his kid on Father's Day.
One anytime. I mean, she needs me to. Sure.
Is that possible?
I don't know that anything in the Is there a visitation order at all, or is it
There's
just,
nothing like, he just, my understanding, he's confined to his house, his
if,
parents' house.
do the people have any issue with that? I'm not gonna have an issue because I don't think that the parents are involved in this incident.
No,
My understanding, Your Honor, is there is no family court order on this topic whatsoever.
All right, if somehow, well, I want to make it clear. I am not ordering that you turn over the child to the parents to see him. If voluntarily she wishes to do that and the parents act as the go-between, I am not going to have an issue with it.
thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus John Oba.
Ready, Your Honor. Good morning, Judge Michael Cobb, P78658, here on behalf of Mr. John O'Butch.
Your name, sir?
John Ovish.
What are we doing today?
Your Honor, defense is seeking a preliminary exam date. I believe discovery is complete.
People would have their witnesses available on the 18th. Preliminary examination will be set in person, June 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Valvo. Anything additional? I do have, I guess, a motion for bond.
Yes, Your Honor. When my client was last before this court, it's my understanding that his bond was revoked for failure to appear for drug testing, Your Honor.
Yes.
I believe, Your Honor, this is a failure or unlawfully driving away in a motor vehicle case. I'm not sure that my client understood that he needed to drug test for this case. It's my understanding, I've took a look at the register of actions, Your Honor. I think he was issued a bond on May 2nd. I don't think he was released until May 13th or 14th, Your Honor. And I'm not sure that he had a clear understanding of his requirements for drug testing on this case, Your Honor. Moreover, I believe he has a concurrent matter that is also Washington Circuit that he had been drug testing for approximately 4 months, Your Honor. So I'm certain that my client can do it, Your Honor. He's done it. He's demonstrated an ability to do it. I just don't think he had the proper information, Your Honor. My client, he's a member of the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 190. He's a very able-bodied, very business-minded member of the society. He's worked for Hustle Plumbing.
That's the cocaine.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Was it his failure to report or was it the cocaine?
I believe he hadn't. It was my understanding that he hadn't tested, Your Honor.
Ms. Hughes.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, did defense counsel file a motion that Your Honor has a copy of?
I do.
I have no motion.
It was recently filed. I was recently.
Well, but the other side's got to see it.
Understood, Your Honor. If the court
Okay,
would like,
if that's the case, and you know how that works, I mean, at least you could have emailed it to him. We just got this today.
Yes,
I just got this just now. So
Understood.
you don't have it. I'm not addressing it. His bond will continue and we're not going to address it. We don't play that way.
Thank you.
is there a bond in place, Your Honor?
Pardon?
Is there currently any bond at all in place? I don't think it's family.
I revoked his bond. He didn't test. You can bring this up before Judge Valvo.
Okay, but
Thank you.
currently there is no bond, correct, Your Honor?
Correct.
Understood.
Court recalls case, People versus Luke Edwards.
Ready in that matter, Your Honor. Lauren Brown, Deputy Public Defender. Has the court received?
I now have a written motion before me allowing the public defender to withdraw. I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily see a need to do that. I think the defendant's kind of picking and choosing his attorney. I'm going to allow it this time. Mr. Kilowald's been appointed to represent him.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Robert J. Cole on behalf of Mr. Edwards. State your name for the record.
Luke Edwards.
Judge, I just
You're going to need an adjournment
a
because
couple
you got to
weeks.
get discovered, right?
Correct, Judge. Can we have a couple weeks and I'll file my appearance this afternoon?
Probable cause conference will be adjourned June 27, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Court does recall the case of the People versus Sue. Is it Bazai?
Morgan Burrows, on behalf of the people.
Edward Bruce on behalf of the defendant.
Morning, Your Honor.
My staff will be letting you know that we're gonna need this stuff before the docket begins. I'm not gonna stop in the middle of the docket for you guys to finish up things.
I sincerely apologize, Your Honor, that's my fault.
I have before me a plea form that indicates the defendant is going to be pleading guilty to the charge of use of analogs. I don't have a penalty at the 1 year, 2,000.
That is correct. Here is 1 year, 1,000, and that is under 7411.
So she's pleading under 7411. That's not on here, but upon her successful plea to that guilty plea to that charge, count 1 would be dismissed. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement. I put the 7411 on the plea form. This case is taking longer than I got to sleep. What are we doing?
Your Honor, I apologize. I messed up the plea form. That is completely my fault. Can we adjourn it out a week? I will submit the court directly to the court so that you don't have to do this on the record and take up more of the court's time.
Okay, so I mean, adjourning it out a week, what are we gonna be doing the same thing or what's the problem?
No, Your Honor, we'll have a form to you prior to the day of the
I
docket.
will have a.
I have a form right here. What do you need on the form? She doesn't want to have to come back if she doesn't want to. She's got to see me again for sentencing.
I forgot to indicate that there is a prosecutor's deferred on count 2, the retail fraud.
So we don't have count 2 on here, and she'd be pleading to count 3.
Correct. That was my error.
Is she pleading to, she'd be pleading to count 2 and 3.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna put it out 2 weeks. You guys get it straight. Ma'am, my apologies to you. June 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Sterling Paris.
And Ed Rodriguez on behalf of Sterling Pierce and the matter ending in 4-2.
Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on matters ending in, 1150 and 004.
How are you on 2 cases?
I'm sorry.
I only have 2.
1150. My apologies.
Thank you. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, at this time, I'm asking for a 3 to 4 week adjournment. And the reason being, I'm going to be looking into possibility of specialty court.
We have second, right? What about you?
We would echo those requests.
July 2nd, 2024,
Thank you.
9 a.m. Bond continued. Let's call the case, the people of the state of Michigan versus Jorge Lopez.
Or shall we see assistant public defender on behalf of, but not with Mr. Jorge Lopez?
We have not ordered up an interpreter. He doesn't appear to be present.
My understanding, Judge, we did try to contact him by phone. I called his name in the courtroom in the hallway. I do not know why he's not present. For the record, I will request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue. Bond will be set in the amount of $10,000 cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Corey Peter.
Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Peters, who approaches. Mr. Peters, can you please state your name for the record?
Corey Peters. Thank you.
And Your Honor, on this matter, we are asking for 3 to 4 weeks as we consider a mental health treatment court.
July 2nd, 2024.
Thank you.
9 a.m. Bond continued. All I have left are in custody. Court does call the case, People versus Eldon Scump.
Bring on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. I did have a chance to meet with Mr. Scump. He has asked me to adjourn this matter to do some further investigation into it. I'm asking for 3 to 4 weeks, and I believe he does want me to ask for a bond, Judge.
Press conference, July 2nd, 2024, 9 a.m. As to bond,
It's the June 27th, Your Honor.
they're never full. You've seen the docket. Why you don't, why are you picking a date? What's wrong with July 2nd? You're out of town.
I might not be.
I'm fine with whatever day, Judge.
You know, sometimes you just wake up, people are around you. You got one nerve and they're bouncing on it. June 27th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And talking to Mr. Scump, I believe he's requesting that the court consider a reduction or a personal bond on this matter. He indicates that he would like to go home. He says that he has an employer who lives at 80 acres of land, who he was working for prior to being incarcerated, who is willing to allow him to be tethered to his residence. He can stay away from any and all complaining witnesses in this case. And he is hoping Your Honor will consider allowing him go to that address. Anything else, Mr. Scott? Is that it?
Yeah, just say, near my boss. Thanks.
Okay.
The court is familiar with the facts. I don't need a verbal response from the people. Court regarding the allegations, the potential danger to the community that this defendant poses. Motion for bond reduction denied. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Judge.
The court calls case people versus Dwayne Stevens.
Bring Your Honor. Brian Bowling, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Stevenson. Dwayne Stevens.
This is a waiver.
Yes, Judge, it is a waiver. There should be a signed waiver form.
I
with
do.
The court file. We're ready to proceed.
So you're waiving your right to preliminary examination?
Yes, sir.
You understand the preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it.
Yes, sir.
You understand you'll not have that hearing. You'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes, sir.
People also waive their right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on a single count.
Thanks, Your Honor. We will waive formal or acknowledge receipt of the information, waive its formal reading and stand mute.
Defendant every way formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for
June 20th at 1:30 before Judge Slate Thursday.
June 20th, 2024, 1:30, Slate Thursday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You ready? Oh, I'm sorry. Court calls case. People versus Jaquan Turner. I'm sorry, I didn't, they were right at that. They were, yeah.
Image for the people.
Hello, Your Honor. Maisie Berger, under the supervision of Mr. Jay Bellinger.
Yeah, I know. Your name, sir?
Turner.
What are we doing?
We are seeking a 2-week adjournment so that we may continue to work on a global resolution.
Believe her? I don't know. I think Bella just told her to say that. Cost conference. Is 2 weeks going to be enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't know. June 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls case people versus Mason Hurst.
Owen Brown, Deputy Chief Public Defender, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Hurst. Mr. Hurst, state your name for the record.
Mason James Hurst.
What are we doing? They did.
Right, sir. Your Honor, today is a date and time set for the probable cause conference and a competency review. He's not yet been in by CMH. Still waiting for a report. So we're going to ask for an adjournment so that that report can be completed and presented to the court.
Okay.
Your Honor, just so I can complete the record, because there was a bit of background noise. I heard that Mr. Brown said that the forensic center report has not been completed yet.
That's right.
And I don't have a copy myself.
And
I'm confirming that.
And I don't have a copy either.
And the reason we're here today is specifically for the competency.
That's correct. So as with all of these, let me try to set this out about 30 plus days and then we'll move it up if it comes in. So I'll set this for July 11th, 2024, 9 a.m. and we'll move it up if it comes in. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case people versus Cortez Davis. Yeah, I know. Cortez Davis, I don't know who the prosecutor is.
Filters.
Andrew Childress appearing on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple appearing on behalf of Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, will you please state your name for the record?
Cortez Davis.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we're asking that this matter be set for a preliminary exam.
Discovery complete.
It is, Your Honor.
People have their witnesses available the 18th.
That's fine, Judge. Thank you.
Preliminary examination in person, June 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. before Judge Valvo. Bond in this matter will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls case people versus Michael Horn.
Good morning, may it please this honorable court. William Johnson, appearing on behalf of Mr. Horn.
Your name, sir?
Michael Horn.
What are we doing today?
Yeah, the discovery is not complete. I'm asking for an adjournment of the PCC.
All discovery's been released on that, but I don't know what he's saying.
Is there anything particular you're looking for? They've indicated discovery's been released.
From the public defender's office, I got the charging document on one case. I have not received reports on the other case, Your Honor.
From the PD's office?
That's correct.
Okay. Probable cause conference during June 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor. Everybody have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Court calls the case, People versus Michelle, Calvflesh, Blessing.
Andrew Childers appearing on behalf of the people.
Hello, Your Honor.
Mike Hello.
Getty, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor. I believe we have a intern who's going to appear on this if the court would, grabbing her from the hallway, I believe.
I'm waiting on an intern.
Okay.
It's a different world, Your Honor.
It's a different world. It ain't that different. Not my world. Well, if it was this intern, I will wait. I wasn't aware.
Good morning, Your Honor. Maria Ursinski seeking permission to practice pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Senior Assistant Public Defender Joy Gaines and on behalf of Miss Calvflesh Blessing.
You know, you're the only intern I know in the world that I would wait for. You know that.
Thank you. I
know that
appreciate
because
that,
actually
Your Honor.
I didn't know it was you. And Mr. Getty told me I had to wait. I don't know what that's about. But then, so I was waiting for the intern and I was going to yell. But then I saw it was doing. I'm not going to. So we're good.
I appreciate that.
Permission to
Thank you, Your
practice
Honor.
is granted. Ma'am, can you state your name, please?
Michelle Calvflesh Blessing.
Thank you. All right. What are we doing on this?
Your Honor, we would be asking for an adjournment. My client is currently looking at a substance abuse assessment on June 11th, and we would be asking for an adjournment past that date.
Okay, so she's got an assessment on the 11th. Probable cause conference, June 27th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right, thank you, ma'am. Court calls case People versus John Jackson.
Prosecuting attorney working on behalf of the people.
Ms. Rushing,
Ready, Judge. Good
we have your
morning,
client,
Judge.
Mr. Jackson. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good morning, Your Honor. Sydney Rushing appearing on behalf of Mr. Jackson this morning. Mr. Jackson, can you please state your name for the record?
John Frederick Jackson II.
Thank you. All right, what are
Thank
we
you.
doing?
Judge, at this time, I believe discovery is complete, so we would like to schedule this matter for preliminary examination.
People have their witnesses available the 18th. Preliminary examination in person will be set June 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. before Judge. Fresh hour. Bond in this matter will continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
And Ms. Rushing, what was her other one? Is that an in custody or
Out of
what's the name? Court recalls the case, People versus Telia Stevens.
Good morning, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Mr. Sinatra for the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Sydney Rushing appearing on behalf of Ms. Stevens. Ms. Stevens, can you please state your name for the record?
Sheila Stevens.
What are we
Thank you.
doing?
Your Honor, we did have this adjourned PCC date because there is a potential warrant request that the prosecutor's office is reviewing. And before we can reach a potential misdemeanor resolution in this case, they just want to see if that warrant is going to issue. They do, from my understanding, still need a little bit of additional time. So we're just asking for another PCC date to see if we can reach resolution.
June 27, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Calls case, People versus Norman Johnson.
Morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with on behalf of Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, could you please state your name?
Norman Johnson.
Thank you.
We're asking to please set this for exam, Your Honor.
Discovery complete.
It is.
People have their witnesses available the 18th. Preliminary examination in person, June 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. before Judge Bravo.
Yeah, there is one issue I would like to address. I'm sorry, I just received notice of it. Otherwise, I would have talked to Mr. Bernstein in advance. There have been 2 calls by the defendant to the victim. One did occur before the arraignment. I do know that very clear. The other, however, did occur on June 3rd. At this time, I do want to request for the defendant's phone number to be revoked. I just got some excerpts of those calls from one of the interns, and they are rather concerning. Obviously, Mr. Bernstein has not had an opportunity to review them because I just received them a few moments ago, and I will make the request for Mr. Bernstein to get copies of those calls. But based off of the nature of those calls and the fact that they are each about 15 minutes long, I would be requesting for his phone to be revoked today.
You don't have a response because of.
All I can say is it looks like there's one call and labeled concerning. I don't have more, Your Honor.
Well, if there's a call and the problem is not, I mean, it can be the substance of the call, but the problem is that there's a call at all. So. Going to grant the people's motion to modify bond under those circumstances. Certainly Judge Bravo can take a look at it. Defendant's phone privileges are hereby ordered revoked. Court calls case People versus Sandia Anderson.
Mike Gaddy, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Ms. Anderson, who's here to my right. Your Honor, state your name.
Sandia Anderson.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I've had a chance to discuss this matter with Mr. Ganatra and Ms. Anderson. I'm asking the court for a brief adjournment so that we can check some ancillary issues before moving this file.
June 27, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Vincent Lambert.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joy Gaines, Senior Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Lambert. What's your name, please, sir?
Vincent Lambert.
Your Honor, Mr. Lambert will be waiving his right to a preliminary hearing
In all of these cases.
in all three cases, Your Honor.
So Lambert, while you're signing that, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offenses alleged were committed and that you committed them.
Yes, sir.
And you understand you'll not have that hearing on any of these matters and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes, sir.
People also waive their right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court in case 604, bound over on count 1 with 2 following. On the case ending in 0605, he's bound over on counts 1 and 2. And on the remaining matter, he is bound over on count 1 with 2 following. Ms. Gaines.
Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the information in each of the cases, waive its reading on the record, and at this time, my client wishes to stand mute.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute on both cases, on all cases. Court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in these matters will be set for
June 18th at 1:30 before Judge Conklin.
June 18, 2024, 1:30. Case People versus Holly Brown.
Good morning, Your Honor. Maria Rosinski on behalf of Ms. Brown. Please state your name for the record.
Holly Brown?
Thank you.
And Your Honor, we would be asking for an 8-week adjournment if possible for my client to seek private counsel.
8 weeks?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
need 8 weeks to do that?
As much time as possible. In the last 2 years since I've seen it, it's been, I could write you a country box set instead of just a song, Your Honor.
I'll give you to July 18th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Probable cause conference, July 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. That's seek an attorney. You'll not get another adjournment for that purpose. Bond will continue. Case People versus Seanquez Lawson.
Morning, Your Honor. Ashley Long on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Lawson. Your name for the court.
John Claus Lawson.
Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment for discovery.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned June 27, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Calls the case People versus Danielle Button.
Your Honor, my name is Alex Parks. I'm requesting to practice pursuant to,
Tell your client to take his hands out of his pockets, please. Go ahead.
I'm requesting to practice pursuant to MCR 8.120 under the supervision of Mr. Gaddy.
Mr. Gaddy explained to you, you don't yell names in the courtroom.
He did.
That will never happen again,
It will
correct?
not.
Thank you. Permission to practice is granted.
Yes, Your Honor, that's my fault.
No, it's not. I know you would have taught her better. I've known you a long time, Mr. Gaddy. It's all her responsibility. Go ahead.
Mr. Button, please state your name.
Daniel Button.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment in this matter for time to reach a resolution.
Probable cause conference without objection, June 27, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Court calls the case People versus Devin Miller.
Ashley Long for the people.
My name is Craig. On behalf of Mr. Devin Miller. Sorry.
We filed an appearance. I just have an appearance. Do I have a substitution?
I have it before me right now. He's signing the form on the SCAO form or signing his signature.
Defense counsel and I are going to request an adjournment for 2 weeks for some additional discussion of defense counsel to get the discovery, start going through it. I don't think 2 weeks would be enough time likely to complete going through discovery, but it would be helpful if we could come back to you.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Probable cause conference, June 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Court calls the case People versus Deja Foster.
I believe it's Mr. Brown's case, Lauren Brown, fault to competency referral.
Marshall on behalf of Ms. Foster, on behalf of Mr. Brown, Public Defender's Office. What's your name for the record, ma'am?
Deidre Foster.
All right, there is a competency referral requesting a forensic examination. I'll order that. I'll set a competency hearing for, give me that.
August 8th.
August 8th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, bond continued. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Kenya Martin.
Morning, Honor. Sam Bernstein, standing in for Miss Constantino, who had to rush to the airport for Miss Martin. Martin, can you please state your name?
Kenya Martin.
Do you have any objection to Mr. Bernstein stepping in?
No, sir.
Thank you.
So I have an ask of Miss Constantino. It's not my words, Your Honor, it's hers. She's asking the court to please set this for preliminary examination on June 25th.
Is all discovery complete to your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is on both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Constantino and I spoke before she apparently had to rush to the airport. That's fine.
Preliminary examination in these matters will be set June 25th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued, or before Judge Washington in both cases. Bond.
For what it's worth, my understanding is Ms. Martin is serving a 93-day jail sentence.
Better. Okay. Thank you. Case of People versus DeJuan Holston.
For the people.
Sinski on behalf of Mr. Holston, state your name for the record.
DeJuan Holston.
And Your Honor, we will be asking for a 1-week adjournment to discuss the offer with my client.
1 week?
Yes.
And get to probable cause conference June 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you. Court calls case People versus James Moody.
First Assistant Public Defender, Mike Gaddy, on behalf of Mr. Moody, who is here to my right. State your name, Mr. Moody.
James Moody. What are we doing?
Your Honor, the people have made an offer. Mr. Moody has decided to set this matter for a preliminary exam.
In both cases?
Yes, Judge.
Discovery is all complete?
Yes, Judge, I believe so.
People will have their witnesses available the 18th. Preliminary examination in these matters will be set in person June 18th, 2024, 9 a.m. before Judge Fresh Hour.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Aziza Ibrahim.
Andrew Childers appearing on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple appearing on behalf of Ibrahim, not present, Your Honor. Did attempt to make contact with her yesterday. I spoke with her after her last probable cause conference date. She did get a copy of her discovery. She informs me that she is at work today and is unable to attend court. I informed her that she needed to be here or a warrant would issue, but I would make the requests for an adjournment considering that she has contacted our office.
Maybe we have to go to her job to get her here. That'd be embarrassing. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond set in the amount of 10,000 cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Deanna Wells.
Edward Drukas on behalf of Deanna Wells.
Morning. What's your name?
I'm Deanna Wells.
Thank you.
Your Honor, all discovery is complete. We're asking for a preliminary examination.
On all of these?
Yes, Your Honor. And the only thing I request is I do have a continued evidentiary hearing on the 18th. That day would not be available.
Well, that day's available. You're just now. Preliminary examination in person, June 25th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Washington. Continue. Cases herein. Let's call the case People versus Andrew White.
Edward Drukas on behalf of Andrew White. Your Honor, I was appointed last night on this matter. I do not have discovery. I'm asking for a 1-week adjournment.
Conference will be adjourned June 13th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.